Hey everybody, happy Friday, the last day of our first week of distance learning. We're going to jump right in with our March Madness voting today. So here's what our bracket is currently looking like. I don't think I ever told you for sure that A Story was the winner between that poem and Fire and Ice. I don't have all of the results in between Do Not Go Gentle, Into That Good Night, and Death Be Not Proud just yet, but it's looking like Do Not Go Gentle is going to be the winner there. And then we're looking at this matchup today, Life While You Wait and How Dark the Beginning. So let's read these again. Life While You Wait, performance without rehearsal, body without alterations, head without premeditation. I know nothing of the role I play. I only know it's mine. I can't exchange it. I have to guess on the spot just what this play's all about. Ill prepared for the privilege of living, I can barely keep up with the pace that the action demands. I improvise, although I loathe improvisation. I trip at every step over my own ignorance. I can't conceal my hayseed manners. My instincts are for happy histrionics. Stage fright makes excuses for me, which humiliate me more. Extenuating circumstances strike me as cruel. Words and impulses you can't take back. Stars you'll never get counted. Your character like a raincoat you button on the run. The pitiful results of all this unexpectedness. If only I could just rehearse one Wednesday in advance, or repeat a single Thursday that has passed. But here comes Friday with a script I haven't seen. Is it fair, I ask, my voice a little hoarse, since I couldn't even clear my throat off stage. You'd be wrong to think that it's just a slapdash quiz taken in makeshift accommodations. Oh no, I'm standing on the set and I see how strong it is. The props are surprisingly precise. The machine rotating the stage has been around even longer. The farthest galaxies have been turned on. Oh no, there's no question. This must be the premiere. And whatever I do will become forever what I've done. This is such a good poem. There's so many things that connect with me right now. I mean, all the time, but just the fact that we cannot predict the way that our lives are going to go, really. So this one's really apt. And then How Dark the Beginning, another one I love by Maggie Smith. All we ever talk of is light. Let there be light. There was light then, good light. But what I consider dawn is darker than all that. So many hours between the day receding and what we recognize as morning. The sun cresting like a wave that won't break over us, as if light were protective, as if no hearts were flayed, no bodies broken on a day like today. In any film, the sunrise tells us everything will be all right. Danger wouldn't dare show up now, dragging its shadow across the screen. We talk so much of light. Please let me speak on behalf of the good dark. Let us talk more of how dark the beginning of a day is. So this one is really great too, and I love the kind of the shifting tone and putting things in a different perspective than we might sometimes think about them. So click the link to vote for your favorite in this bracket. And then the next thing that I want you to do is to share your passage from the road in this Flipgrid that I've linked here. So whichever one that you chose, I want you to, in an overall sense, discuss its significance, but I've given you these 4 things to kind of guide your response, and these are also listed in the directions of the Flipgrid itself. So give the page number and remind us of the context of the scene. And then talk about what that passage reveals about a character's motivation, or maybe it's multiple characters in that same scene, a character's desires, a character's fears, whatever it is that it reveals about that person. Talk about how those are significant in an overall sense. And then discuss how McCarthy reveals overall meaning through the use of this scene in addition to others. Like where does this scene start to take us in the novel as a whole? Okay, so I want to show you kind of what I'm looking for in your analysis of this passage. And this is a picture of, I wonder if you can guess. I can't let you respond in a live sense, but this is a picture of something that happened today. My son found these mushrooms, which are called morels. I think I told you guys in class when we got to this scene where the man and the boy find these mushrooms, that Joel likes to go out with my parents usually around this time of year. Usually it's a little bit later because our spring is a little earlier this year. And they went out today and found, I think he said like 49, something crazy like that. Usually they find like a few at a time. So really accurate timing because the passage that I'm looking at is the scene where they find these mushrooms. And it starts on page 39 and goes over to the top of page 41. And so this is toward the very beginning of the novel, obviously. And at this point, I believe it's been a little while since they had anything like significant to be hopeful about. So they find these morels, and the boy obviously doesn't know what they are because he's never seen them before. He asks, "What is it?" and his father says it's morels, and they're a kind of mushroom. And they keep this back and forth, kind of question and answer. When the boy asks in this scene, "Are they good?" the man's response is, "Take a bite." And then he's like, "Oh, they are pretty good, actually." And so they have this kind of communion where they sit and have their dinner together. So I think that this reveals quite a bit about the beginning of the father's desire to have the boy kind of start to trust himself a little bit more. He's guiding him and he's teaching him and he's showing him, but he's also, taste for yourself, take a bite, see what this is like, and start to kind of feel your way and figure things out for yourself. This is obviously also another one of those times where there's a link to the past, and the man is sharing something with the boy that he wouldn't have otherwise known. This communion between them is a big gift in this scene, and this is just one of many scenes where that happens. So I chose this particular scene because, like I said, I think that this is like a sense of, okay, there's a little sense of normalcy, a little sense of optimism and hope, and also this sense of the man is encouraging the boy to take some steps forward and start to trust himself a little bit more at a time. So follow that similar format in your Flipgrid analysis and response. And then the final thing that I want you to do for me today is give me some feedback about this week. And you can have the weekend to finish up any and all of this, but I want to know how things are going with you. So I've added a Google form for you to give me some input about the workload and how we're communicating and just various things that I want to make sure that I'm kind of in tune with what's working for you guys and what might not be working. So up next week, I'm going to have you pick a favorite poem from each of the two final pairings. So you'll pick one on the left side bracket and one on the right bracket, and kind of be prepared to dig into those even further and discuss your choice. And then today, if you haven't already, we're supposed to be getting information about how the exam is going to be set up. And so we're looking for that whenever I get the information. If I get it before you do, which I may not, I will pass that along to you, and then we can kind of refocus from here. I hope you each have a wonderful weekend. Reach out to me as always if you have any questions, if I can help you in any way, or if you just need to talk to somebody. Enjoy Saturday and Sunday, and I'll see you on Monday.